Hey guys, in this video what we're going to be talking about is the correlation between deep sleep and total training volume. So in case you don't know, total training volume, it refers to the amount of weight that you lift times the sets times the reps. Okay, so let's say that you have a 25-pound dumbbell that you lift for 10 times for 5 sets. Then you have a total training volume of 2,500 because you take the two dumbbells times 25 pounds times 10 times 5 to get 2,500. Okay, so it takes the weight, the sets, and the reps into account. Okay, I found personally that tracking my training volume is one of the best ways to keep track of progress in the gym. This is my exercise training sheet right here. So up at the top here in this row, you can see all of the different types of exercises that I do. These are all broken down into muscle groups. So we have triceps here, right? So dips, tricep push downs, tricep kickbacks. Over here we've got chest day exercises, so dumbbell bench press, dumbbell incline bench press, chest fly, okay? And then what I do is underneath each of these columns, I go ahead and record the volume for that day. So over here in the left, we have our day column, and then we just go over underneath that muscle group. I go ahead and record total training volume. So it makes it nice and easy. It's just one number for the whole workout, and you put it right there. Okay, I even have charts over here that I use to keep track of the volume, so you can see over time. This is really nice because it allows you to see your progress over time in training volume. For instance, this is my tricep training volume. So we've got dips, tricep push downs, tricep kickbacks, and you can see that these lines are going up over time. So it's a very good way to keep track of your progress. So in addition to that, I also keep track of all of my sleep parameters on my sleep parameter sheet over here. Okay, so you can see, I keep track of different things like sleep latency, deep sleep time, REM sleep time every night. I use a Fitbit Inspire 2 to keep track of all this data. So yeah, so basically, I wanted to see if there was any kind of a correlation between my training volume on this sheet, right? Total training volume for the day, and the percent of deep sleep that I get. And the reason that deep sleep is important if you're lifting weights is because deep sleep is the stage of sleep during the night that you release growth hormone and testosterone, which are both very important if you're trying to put on muscle and if you're a weightlifter. So it's something that you should definitely keep an eye on. That's why I keep track of both of them. I wanted to see if there was any correlation between the two. I had heard that as your training volume increases, your deep sleep percentage should increase as well, but I wanted to test that. So in order to do that, I have a third sheet. This is my experiential correlation sheet. I keep track of all of my biological correlations on the sheet statistically. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you guys the results. So I track both over time. And if we go to, we're going to go to row 101. So you can see my independent variable that's plotted on the x-axis is my total volume for the day, okay? And my dependent variable that's plotted on the y-axis is the amount of time that I get deep sleep during the night, okay? So I'm pitting both of those together. And here's some of the statistics. I have an R value of negative 0.04, okay? A good R, basically the R value tells you how strong the correlation between two things is. and it tells you what direction the correlation is going, if it's a positive correlation or if it's a negative correlation. So positive correlation means that as one goes up, so does the other one. It's a direct correlation. A negative correlation means that as one goes up, the other one goes down. Okay, so that would be a negative correlation. So you can see I have a negative correlation, which means as my total volume goes up during the day or for a day's workout, my time of deep sleep decreases slightly. Okay, but it's very, very small. Usually anything that's over 0.3 in either direction is like a mild correlation. Anything that's over 0.6 is a moderate correlation. Anything that's over like around 8 or 9 is a very strong correlation. Okay, so you can see this is a very, very small correlation. So it's almost meaningless. My R squared value tells me how much of the variation in deep sleep can be explained by the variation in my training volume. Okay, so it's a very useful metric. It's 0.00, which basically is telling me 0% of the correlation in my deep sleep can be explained by how much training volume I have during the day. Okay, and the p-value further explains that. If I broaden this column right here, you can see this p-value is 0.000000000000191. Okay, the interpretation of that is basically what Google Sheets is telling me is that the chance that this correlation is wrong or is random is that low, is like 0.000000191% chance that what we're seeing is a random occurrence. Basically, the p-value tells you how confident can you be in the R value and the R squared value. So basically, we can be very, 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 very confident that there is almost no correlation between the two. That's basically what it's telling you. Hopefully that makes sense. I've got a few other videos that kind of explain that a little better. Okay, so that's kind of some of the statistics. I want to show you a graph that I put together that kind of like explains what we just saw. Maybe makes it a little easier. So you can see in this graph, this is pinning on the y-axis. We have the amount of time that I have deep sleep. So all of these little dots represent different nights. So each one of these is a night's sleep. And over here, this is how much deep sleep that I got during the night. So the higher we go in this chart, the better. Okay, so the higher, the better. The lower, the worse. And down here on the x-axis, we have my training volume. This is how many pounds, total pounds I lifted for the day. So you can see on days when I lifted a lot of weight, I still get, the same amount of deep sleep as on days when I didn't lift a lot of weight, right? So, and then I just went ahead and plotted a line, a trend line across that shows you that correlation, right? So basically what we're seeing, whenever you have a scatter plot chart like this, the more it looks like a shotgun, someone took a shotgun and shot the chart, the worse. Okay, that's what you don't want. That means there's no correlation. What you want to see is like a sniper. You want all of these dots to lie on a single line. That's what you want. Okay, so you want it to look like someone took a rifle and just shot across this line instead of shotgun. Because if you do see kind of like the rifle plotting, that means that there is a good correlation. There's a strong correlation between the two, but basically there's none right here. So, this is just me again. This is just my personal results. Again, your personal results will differ. So the point of this video isn't for you to assume that there's no correlation for yourself. The point of this video is to go out, go to Best Buy, get a Fitbit, and start tracking your own data, because that's the only way that you're going to know whether you do have a correlation between the two or not. Okay, so I would highly, highly, highly recommend you do that. I did in a previous video find that there was a correlation between an ice water facial before bed and deep sleep that had a much better, much higher correlation between my deep sleep than training volume does. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to go ahead and link to that video so you can check that out. So you can see kind of like what something that does have a correlation looks like. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and got more videos to come. So make sure you subscribe to the video, and go ahead and drop me a like if you did. And yeah, see you next time.